Isn't that right?
No. Oh, no. I don't feel sorry for you.
For a film adaptation, Wicked is aimed to be twice as long as the original stage production. With the runtime doubled, it's no secret that the film added new scenes to help enhance the narrative and include more character-driven moments. The film starts off strong with one of the new scenes, showing Elphaba as a child, which informs the audience that she has faced ridicule for her appearance and magical abilities alike from a very young age. The scene establishes sympathy for the audience and makes her enrollment at Shiz feel more like a critical moment in her story. Every new scene was written to bolster Elphaba's narrative in some way, but with the original script for Wicked now released, it appears that a few new scenes were ultimately cut from the film. In today's video, I will review Wicked's deleted scenes and discuss how they could have benefited the story.
Speaking of Fiero, where is he? Not that I expected him to come and say goodbye, but I mean, we barely know each other.
Number 1. The montage. The most significant deleted scene is a montage showing Elphaba, Glinda, Fiero, Bach, and Nessa partaking in several outings together. Assuming these outings take place during their time at Shiz, the montage could have shown the group's friendship develop drastically throughout weeks or even months. While the group spend time together in the final film, it is mainly during class hours, and their time is shortened to include scenes of them sitting together in class or walking together at the end of the day. These scenes imply that they're friends but fail to show how deep their bonds go, something that the montage excels out. The montage begins with Elphaba nervously entering the dining hall to see the rest of the group together at a table. Upon seeing her, they make room for her to sit without a second thought. Glinda offers Elphaba a smile as if she was proud that Elphaba had come out of her shell and made an effort to become popular. Elphaba offers a hair toss in turn, which makes the entire group erupt into laughter. The scene transitions with a needle drop version of Dancing Through Life that's coming from an Aussian radio. The group listens to the song while sitting around a campfire. As Nessa helps Bach add kindling to the fire, Glinda and Elphaba laugh until they cry. Fiero, meanwhile, is immersed in one of Elphaba's books, which doesn't go unnoticed by her. The scene shifts to show Bach leading his friends through a crowd of students, which transitions into him leading them through the woods. Glinda's heels make it impossible for her to keep up, so Elphaba circles back and throws off her shoes. A barefoot Glinda races to catch up with her friends. I think this scene is a nice touch as it's a subtle nod to how much Elphaba is helping Glinda change. The group come upon a secluded clearing, where Bach presents a rotted tree. When his friends seem confused, he presents them with an axe, which foreshadows his transformation into the Tin Man. Bach uses the axe to hack at the tree until it's partially cleared, and the audience would have been treated with a surprise when he removed his shirt, revealing that he's rather muscular beneath his sweater vests. Nessa, Elphaba, and a distracted Glinda help him clear the tree. After their exploits in the woods, they return to the library, with leaves still stuck in their hair. Elphaba studies while Nessa shares her notes with Bach. Glinda reads from a massive tomb, which hides a magazine, and Fiero sleeps. They return to the same clearing once they find time away from school, and they string a badminton net between two trees. As it turns out, Nessa may be a pro at the sport, as she's noted as making an amazing shot. In the montage's closing scene, the group trudge up a hillside to watch the sunrise. Glinda has traded her heels for a pair of Elphaba's boots. When Elphaba stumbles, Nessa reaches out to help her and the sisters share a look. Their eyes meeting signal all 5 friends to burst into a reprise of Dancing Through Life. The lyrics are bittersweet in hindsight, but the group claim they'll always be friends, that none have a friendship like theirs, and they will keep dancing through life together. Afterward, they see a field of poppies and excitedly link arms one by one. Elphaba collects a bouquet of poppies for Dr. Dillamond, which leads into the scene where law enforcement abruptly removes him from Shiz.
Dr. Dillamond, I think you some poppies.
Not now, Miss Elphaba. Please, everyone take your seats.
Number 2. Elphaba and Bach come clean. When Elphaba waits for the train to the Emerald City, she's joined by her friends and peers. In the film, Nessa and Bach stand to the side and have a conversation with Governor Throp, who has come to see Elphaba off. However, in this deleted scene, he is noticeably more receptive to Nessa, which simultaneously upsets Elphaba and earns him the ire of Madame Morrible. Nessa also takes this time to introduce Bach to the governor. While they do meet one another in the final cut, Bach has an extended role in the script. In the deleted scene, Bach pulls Glinda away from their classmates to chastise her for giving him false hope. She brushes him off, stating she gives everyone hope, and Bach rushes from the train platform in tears. Nessa confronts Glinda for upsetting Bach, and Glinda kneels before her, trying to rectify the situation. Glinda notices that there are other boys in the crowd watching Nessa and comments that other people have noticed her and may be more willing to have a relationship. Unfortunately, Nessa only has eyes for one person. Inside the train station, Elphaba finds Bach. When she asks him why he can't love Nessa, he claims he doesn't like to upset her, but he can't change how he feels. He tries to emphasize with Elphaba, asking if she could stop herself from loving Fiyero. The question catches her off guard, and naturally she denies having feelings for their other friend. Bach, recognizing the lie, seems to shut down, calling Elphaba out with a line I wish they kept in the final cut. "Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought we were being honest." The line is so emotionally charged on paper, and I have no doubt that if performed on screen, it would have only enhanced the subsequent scene when Elphaba and Fiyero say their goodbyes. Bach leaves on that phenomenal note, and Elphaba returns to the train platform. Glinda informs her that Nessa went home with Governor Throp but wished her sister safe travels. She reassures Elphaba, reminding her that Nessa and everyone else must learn to live without her.
Father, this is Bach, the boy I wrote to you about.
Oh, yes. Governor Throp. Good to meet you.
Number 3. Elphaba's childhood book. The final scene takes place when Elphaba and Glinda arrive in the Emerald City. The two friends have time to kill before they meet the wizard, and they spend that time sightseeing in the film. They go to salons, shops, and watch a local troupe of performers recount the history of Oz. The deleted scene appears to take place in one of the city shops, where Elphaba finds a copy of a book from her childhood. The book is the same one Elphaba showed Nessa when they're children, all the way at the beginning of the film. The pop-up book is open on a page with the wizard standing before the Emerald City. Elphaba reaches toward it as if she's realizing how close she is to meeting him in person and achieving her lifelong dream. The scene would show this realization play out in real time, as the thing Elphaba wants more than anything is now before her as a real, tangible experience. As for the book itself, it's likely a children's story meant to teach them about the wizard and everything he does for Oz. I'm sure Elphaba received the book as a child, and seeing that the wizard not only loved the color green, but was also a magic user like her, she began to idolize him. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that pop-up book was the original source of Elphaba's admiration. In showing it within the Emerald City, it would have been a subtle nod to Elphaba's childhood, how far she had come since then, and how her story had come full circle.
Do you know how we got here? No. From the sky. In a balloon. See?
While I understand every scripted scene can't make it into the final cut, I can't help feeling like the story would have benefited from the inclusion of some of these scenes. The montage in particular is something I would have loved to see in theaters, as the development of the group's friendship feels rushed in the film. It's as if, after attending the Ozdust Ballroom, the five become thick as thieves, but there's nothing leading up to that change, especially for Bach and Nessa, who stood aside while Elphaba was shamed by their peers. The montage and even the train station scene could have further developed their group's dynamic, which would have made their romance troubles, disagreements, and fallouts later on pack a bigger punch.
Oh, me too, me too. I think about it constantly. I mean, poor Dr. Dillamond.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Puppies are my favorite.
Mine too.
They keep me cheerful in these dark times.